Welcome to this Hatha yoga sequence for bedtime. For this class, you are going to need a strap and a yoga block. Hi, I'm Melissa. This is Yoga with Melissa. Today we are doing a Hatha yoga class for bedtime. Let's begin by resting back for centering. If you have any low back issues, keep your knees bent and your feet flat on the floor. So begin by letting go of the stress and tension of the day. As I mentioned, this is a Hatha yoga class. Hatha means sun and moon, and yoga means to yoke or join or union. And the Hatha part of this class is going to focus more on the moon side of the sun-moon, so that we will focus on the receptive, quiet qualities of the moon, like characteristics of Hatha yoga. And we will join ourselves, we will yoke ourselves to those more receptive qualities. Hatha yoga is all about connecting with our true self, and our true self is already relaxed and calm. It's just that we get kind of attached to the thoughts in our mind and our emotional states, and then it becomes difficult to fall asleep at night. So when we tune into the quiet, receptive qualities of the moon-like nature of Hatha yoga and join ourselves to them, yoke ourselves to them, we'll be able to drift off to sleep with no problem. Allow your breath to come to you and let go down and into the earth. Okay, so you can begin to wiggle and stretch out. And the first prop you're going to need is your yoga strap. If you don't have a yoga strap, you can use a tie from your bathrobe. And you're going to wrap it around the ball of your foot, place it around your right foot, and extend your right foot into the air. If you have low back issues, keep your left leg bent. This pose helps to calm the mind and relieve stress in preparation for sleep. And then you're going to stay grounded through the outside left hip and open up your right leg out to the side. If you don't have back issues, it can be helpful to create some extra weight by lengthening your left leg out. And then you're going to draw your leg back to the center and cross it over just until you feel sensation on the outside of your leg. And then draw your right leg back to the center. You can release your right leg down and take a moment in the center just to feel the difference between your right and left side now. And then we'll go ahead and do the other side. So again, if you have low back issues, you're going to keep your non-gesture leg bent. Place the strap around the ball of your left foot and draw your left leg in. You want to feel sensation along the back of your left leg. This is your urinary bladder meridian, known as the guardian of peace. And then you're going to open your left leg out to the side. Again, if you don't have low back issues, it can be helpful to create some weight by lengthening your right leg out. And then draw your left leg back to the center, draw it in again, and cross it over your body, just until you feel sensation along the outside of your left leg, along the gallbladder meridian. This will help you release the frustrations of the day. And then you'll come back to the center and you can lower your leg down and just pause in the center here for a moment and feel how the two sides feel now that you've done both of them. And then you can put your strap off to the side, bend your knees, place your feet flat on the floor. You could use your block here in one of two ways. Now, the one way would be to place your block between your knees, press into your feet, and lift your pelvis up off the ground. The other way would be to place the block underneath your pelvis so that it becomes a supported pose. Okay, you can slowly lower down, and you can place the block off to your side. And you're going to cross your left ankle over your right thigh and draw your right leg into your chest. When you feel sensation in the outside of your left leg and into your left glutes, then you have arrived. And then you're going to release this side and uncross your legs. And let's do the other side. So cross your right ankle over the top of your left thigh. Open your right leg out to the side. And then draw your left leg in. Again, you want to feel sensation on the outside of your right leg and into your right glutes. And then lower your feet down again. And you can either put the block between your knees again or underneath your pelvis. We're going to do bridge pose again. So press into your feet, inhale. Exhale, press into your heels until your pelvis lifts off the ground. Open up the fronts of your hips. And then you're going to slowly lower down. Put the block off to the side. Roll to your side. And we're going to come up onto all fours. And we're going to do some cat pose. Okay, so from all fours, cat pose, you're going to have your hands underneath your shoulders, your knees underneath your hips. And you're going to exhale, round up through your back, and inhale and arch through your back. Exhale, round up through your back, and inhale, arch. So cat pose will soothe your central nervous system and reduce stress in preparation for sleep. If you have wrist issues, you can come down onto your forearms. Or you could do it from fists. Okay, so from here we're going to slide our left leg forward, and you're going to reach your right leg back and down, and then you're going to fold forward over your bent left leg. If this is too much pressure on your front knee, then you can come back on your back and do keyhole again. Okay, let's come back and come into cat-cow again. And then you're going to take your right knee forward for pigeon on the other side. If it's too much pressure on your knees, then you're going to come on your back and do keyhole again. So pigeon pose will help to relieve the mild depressions and anxieties of the day to help to prepare you for sleep. Okay, and then let's come on back out, and we're going to practice. One of our main poses standing is going to be half moon balancing pose. So we're going to practice it here closer to the ground in preparation for doing it standing. So let's take your right leg back And your left knee in and open up your right hip out to the side. And you can lift your right arm up. You can leave your right leg on the ground, or you can experiment with lifting it off the ground. And then you can also try turning your head up. Okay, good job. Okay, so let's go ahead and rest back in child's pose. If that's too much on your knees and ankles, then you're going to lie on your back with your knees to your chest. Add a rotation. If you're on your back, do a recline twist. And then go ahead and twist to the other side. And then come back to the center. We're going to do that half moon balancing pose on the other side. Okay, so from here, we'll start on all fours again. And this time, this time you'll take your right knee in, your left leg back. And start by opening up your left hip. Let's bring the left arm up first. And you can just lift your left leg. And then if you want to try and rotate your head up, the way that it worked well for me last time is put your foot back on the ground, turn your head up, find your center, and then lift your back leg again. Good. Okay, and then we'll come to child's pose again. So the reason why that's more difficult when you rotate your head is it involves the inner ear. And I've chosen the balancing poses for this bedtime sequence because it draws the scattered energy of the day into focus. And it helps to take all that scattered energy and bring it in so you can prepare for rest in the evening. And then you're going to take your arms to one side. This is good for your gallbladder meridian again. Let go of all those decisions from the day. And then the other side. And come back to center. You're going to tuck your toes under. And you're going to slowly curl up to standing. So come through a standing forward fold. Okay, from standing, we're going to do that half moon balancing pose again, and we're going to intersperse it with some standing forward folds for stillness and calm and relaxation to prepare you for sleep. So for the half moon balancing pose, you may want a block or a chair even, or a wall. You could do it using a wall. And you're going to begin in a standing forward fold. You can use a block. You're going to take your right leg up and behind you. Open your right leg up. And then open your right arm up. And then you can come down. Let's come into a standing forward fold to find that stillness, that calm, relieve all the stress. And then come up to standing again. And let's do the half moon balancing pose on the other side. So I'm going to try and find a fairly flat spot on the other side of my mat. Okay, so come into standing forward fold again. And this time you can place your hand on a block or a chair, or you can even open into a wall. This time you'll take your left leg up and behind and your left arm up. Okay, and then we'll come back into the standing forward fold. Okay, let's go ahead. We're going to come up again. We're going to do the half moon balancing pose again on the left foot. So, sorry, it's taking me a minute or two each time just to find something a little bit flat. Okay, so we're going to come into standing forward fold again. And you can use a chair or a wall or a block. And you're going to take your right leg back and up. And you're going to bring your right arm up. So think about drawing that energy in from the day that's dispersed outwards. So you're drawing it all back in. Okay, and then you're going to release that down. And in the center, we're going to take our legs wide. And we're going to do wide-legged standing forward fold. And then we'll come up and we're going to do the pose standing on your right leg, taking your left leg as your gesture leg this time. So standing forward fold again. Left leg comes up and back. And then you can release and take your legs wide again. And wide-legged standing forward fold. Okay, so you're going to slowly come up to standing, and then we're going to come down. We're going to do a seated forward fold series. So you're going to need to sit on a folded blanket or something so your pelvis is elevated. I'm just trying to figure out my best configuration for this. And I'm probably going to roll up my mat so I have something to sit on. Fine, you've got your folded blanket, something to sit on. You're going to sit so your pelvis is elevated, and we're going to start with wide-legged seated forward fold. Okay. So forward folds are very calming and stilling. They gather your energy in. They relieve stress. And then you'll come up and you'll bring your left leg and you're going to bend it and open it. And then you'll fold forward over your right leg. And if this knee is really raised, then you're going to fill the space with a cushion or a block. And then you're going to take your right leg and cross it over. Wrap your left leg, cross it over. Wrap your right arm around your left leg. Come into a twist. And then you're going to cross it all the way over. Fold forward over your straight right leg. And then both legs straight. And you're going to come up, take your legs wide again. And then come back up to seated. Bring both your legs in the center. I think that's the easiest. Open your right leg out to the side. Feel the space under your bent right knee if there is space. Fold forward. And you're going to come up again, and you're going to cross your right leg all the way over, wrap your left arm around your right leg, come into the twist. Come back to the center. You cross your right leg all the way over your left. Sit up nice and tall. Fold forward. And then we're going to bring both legs forward. And come up again. You're going to take your legs wide one more time. Okay, and then come up to seated, and we're going to sit with a mudra before we lie down for Shavasana. So you can either sit cross-legged here, or you can kneel with a block, or you can sit in a chair. Okay, so we're going to sit, choosing your sitting position. You want to sit so that your spine is straight. This is the Shakti Mudra, and The way that it works is you bring your pinky finger and your ring finger together, tuck your thumbs under, wrap your first two fingers around your thumbs. Okay, and then you'll rest this in front of your heart center. And you want to relax your belly. Breathe long, smooth, deep breaths. Just long, smooth, easy breaths. Feel the support of the earth underneath you. Feel the support of the earth underneath you. Lengthen up through your spine. Open up the back of your neck and your head. Let your ears come over your shoulders. Let there be space between your teeth and allow your tongue to float and broaden in your mouth. Allow yourself to be with this mudra with a lot of tenderness and care. This Shakti mudra, which will induce sleep and relax the organs and musculature of the pelvis. You're going to release this mudra from your hands. And you can either finish your practice sitting, or you can, and stay with the mudra even, or you can rest back for Shavasana now. Okay, so continue to rest back for in Shavasana. I'm going to sit up and read you a poem while you continue to rest back. This poem is by John O'Donohue. It's called The Inner History of a Day. No one knew the name of this day, born quietly from the deepest night. It hid its face in light, demanded nothing of itself, opened out to offer each of us a field of brightness that traveled ahead, providing in time ground to hold our footsteps, and the light of thought to show the way. The mind of day draws no attention. It dwells within the silence with elegance, to create a space for all our words, drawing us to listen inward and outward. The mind of day draws no attention. It dwells within the silence with elegance, to create a space for all our words, drawing us to listen inward and outward. We seldom notice how each day is a holy place, where the Eucharist of the ordinary happens, transforming our broken fragments into an eternal continuity that keeps us. We seldom notice how each day is a holy place where the Eucharist of the ordinary happens, transforming our broken fragments into an eternal continuity that keeps us. Somewhere in us a dignity presides that is more gracious than smallness, that fuels us with fear and force, a dignity that trusts the form a day takes. Somewhere in us a dignity presides that is more gracious than the smallness that fuels us with fear and force, a dignity that trusts the form a day takes. So at the end of this day, we give thanks for being betrothed to the unknown. So at the end of this day, we give thanks for being betrothed to the unknown. And for the secret work through which the mind of the day and the wisdom of the soul become one. So gradually allow your breath to deepen. Wiggle your fingers and start to stretch out. And gradually make your way up to seated. And we will close out with our mudra series. Left palm up, right palm down. Gathering the fruits of our practice into ourselves first and then offering them out to the world. Loka samasta sukhinho bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhinho bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhinho bhavantu. May all beings be happy and free, and may the thoughts, words, and actions of my own life in some way provide happiness and freedom for all. So thanks so much for joining me for this class. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. Feel free to share it with your friends. And put in the comments, I'm ready for bedtime. If you would like my 7 best days of yoga for sleep, go to melissawest.com/sleep. Our members are doing Ayurvedic practices, evening practices this month. And Tim and I just spent basically all day yesterday and today reorganizing, moving all the furniture around, streamlining the membership community and preparation for moving it to the new software, which will happen on November the 1st. Our members were just like, oh my God, I can't believe what you've done. And we haven't even moved to the new site yet. It looks amazing. It's so much easier to use. So if you're a member, go on and check it out and look how amazing it looks. And if you aren't a member, we'd love to welcome you into our community. There's big changes happening, all for the better. So it's going to really support us in our practice. So yeah, it's super awesome. Like this morning we went in and we just made we have I think 14 indulgence workshops of just amazing quality that we made so much easier to access and use now. And yeah, we have a live indulgence class this Sunday as well. So much going on there, and I'm sending you lots of love from beautiful British Columbia. May your joy be as deep as our ocean. May it be as strong as our mountains. May it be as rooted as the trees in our forests. Om Shanti. Namaste.